To defeat the darkness, I must become the darkness. The strong must devour the weak. That is the only way I will fulfill my goal. I will use the souls I stole to fuel my strength. Come out, evil hero, malicious fiend. Let's go, Supreme King. I love this animation. Supreme King finally in Duel Links, baby. Power is everything. I am the Supreme King and I rule this world. The shadows in my heart will guide me to victory. Supreme King Jaden unlocked. Let's get into the review. Alright guys, it's time for what we've all been waiting for. Supreme King Jaden, let's check him out.
I am the Supreme King.
I'm...
Who will conquer this world?
That sounds sick. When Jaden lost his friends in an alternate dimension, his anger and sadness caused darkness to grow inside his heart, transforming him into the Supreme King. In a world where power rules everything, I read this in the last video. Alright, so, anyway, let's check out these level up rewards and then we'll go into the skills. So first is our basic skill. We'll read this. At the beginning of the duel, add 2 Evil Hero Malicious Edge and 1 Dark Fusion to your deck. In addition, add 1 Evil Hero Malicious Fiend to your extra deck. This is just your basic skill that gets you your boss monster and the components that you need to summon it. Next, we get a alternate art Avion. Pretty nice. Garbage filler card. Vicious Claw. Is this a new card? I think it is. The equipped monster gains 300 attack. If the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle, return this card to its owner's hand instead. Then destroy 1 monster, except the one that battled the equipped monster, and inflict 300 damage to your opponent. After that, special summon an evil token to your opponent's side of the field. During the turn this card is returned in your hand, you cannot use Vicious Claw. So wow, this is an actually pretty interesting equip spell. It sounds like that it's meant to be used with super polymerization, right? You give your opponent a fiend monster so that you can use it on their side of the field for a fusion summon. But, you know, of course, I don't know if we're going to have fusion, access to super polymerization. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. It seems pretty good. You equip it, and then if it prevents destruction, you pop a monster. That is pretty nice. Alright, so we will be getting Dark Fusion obtainable, of course. So this is send from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard the fusion materials that are listed on a Fiend type fusion monster card. Then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck. It's treated as a fusion summon, and the special summon monster cannot be targeted by opponent's spell, traps, or card effects this turn. So this will work with any fiend, although it's meant to be used with evil heroes. So a lot of people have been talking about using this with Purgatrio, because it is a fiend that is a fusion monster. So get creative with Dark Fusion. But it looks like we might have it at 3 if as we go further. So we're getting Evil Hero Infernal Wings. So we're getting the reprints of Avion and Burstinatrix, and this is the fusion. Must be fusion summoned with Dark Fusion. If this card attacks a defensive position monster, piercing when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to either half attack or defense, which either is higher. So it is just like a nerfed Flame Wingman, but if it's summoned with Dark Fusion, then it's immune to spell and trap effects. So that is whatever, I guess. That's another old card, another Vicious Claw, Evil Hero Wild Cyclone, Avion and Wild Heart, Dark Fusion. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, destroy all face down spell and trap cards your opponent controls. So it has a pretty good battle effect that forces your opponents to, use their back group before battles, but that is just about it. You're probably never going to be using Avion and Wild Heart in a deck together. Then we get a Sparkman alternate art. More copies of that stuff. So let's see his level 45, dude. Whoa! That's terrible, dude. Level 45, they just gave him reprints? Oof. I mean, I kind of saw this coming, right? A lot of people were saying that some of the other evil heroes that, were not in the rarity changes, that they were just simply too strong to be added to the game. So it's a shame that we're only going to get reprints of these really crappy fusions, but hopefully the strength of Supreme King Jaden is in his skills, and we will check those out going over his new ones. I missed one in the last video, so I will be sure not to do that. So he has Allured by Darkness and Beatdown. Very interesting. So the first new one, Dark Fusion. Change one polymerization in your hand to Dark Fusion. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with an extra deck that contains no monsters other than Elemental Hero or Evil Hero monsters. The skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. So, very interesting. You won't be able to use mass heroes if you use this skill. I wonder how many of the other skills have that limitation, but pretty interesting. So you'll be using polymerization if you're not using mass heroes anyway, so this may be, you may find some use for that. We have 3 copies of Dark Fusion. Yes, we do. Okay. Let's move on. Domination of Darkness. Reveal one Evil Hero fusion monster in your extra deck and send all fusion materials that are listed on its card to the graveyard from outside of your deck. This skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. A fusion monster with same name cannot be selected both times with the skill. This skill can only activate if you begin the duel with a deck/extra deck that only contains that follows the conditions below. 10 or more cards that are Evil Hero monsters, Dark Fusion, or Dark Calling are included in the deck. Pause. So, 10 cards total, and of those 10 cards, it can consist of Evil Heroes, Dark Fusion, or Dark Calling. Dark Calling being the Dark Fusion substitute. Alright, that are included in the deck, so you have to have 10 of those. No monsters other than hero monsters are included in the deck. No monsters other than Evil Hero monsters are included in the extra deck. Okay, so this skill is pretty darn nice, because you can get the materials for your Evil Hero monster directly to the graveyard for Dark Calling. Of course, your main play here is going to be to make Evil Hero Malicious Fiend. I don't think the other Evil Hero guys are really great, maybe situational, because now they're your main play with this skill, because you are forced to use Evil Hero monsters in the extra deck. So Malicious Fiend, we know, is our main play. It will force all of our opponent's monsters on the field to switch into attack and attack us. Sending the materials to the grave to summon with Dark Calling, that's fine. You won't be able to get the effect from Dark Fusion, so you kind of give up that ability as well, making Malicious Fiend powerful in its first turn. However, its ability is not really powerful in the next turn, so you could argue. We'll come back to this as we read some of the other skills. This one seems pretty darn good. Evil Change. Return one Evil Hero monster to your deck from your hand and add one Evil Hero monster with a different name or Dark Fusion from your deck to your hand. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with an extra deck that contains no monsters other than Fiend-type monsters. This skill can only be used once per duel. Dude, what? You can play... Wow, this skill is a consistency skill. It's very versatile. It requires you to have Fiend-type monsters in the extra deck. I see an ability for invoked Evil Heroes with this skill. Evil Change. Whoo! You can swap out... Oh, but is there a regular Fire Evil Hero? No, there's not. Because I'm thinking you're going to use Burstinatrix and stuff for the... to bring out this one, the one that's level 45, Inferno Wing. But you do lose the consistency of the other skill because you're only able to search Evil Heroes, so... This skill is interesting. A consistency skill, but again, you're tied to evil heroes. So let's see what we can make out of that. Remain... Oh, I missed a couple. Evil Reincarnation. Can be used during your next turn after your monster is destroyed by battle. Return one monster in your graveyard whose original type and attribute are Earth and Fiend type to your hand. Then return one card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. This skill can only be used once per duel. Okay, get an evil hero back, because I guess when you're playing evil heroes, you don't have some of those recovery options that you do when you're playing the other hero decks. But I think the other skills are just straight up more impactful. So this is a drop skill. Domination of Darkness, what is that? That's a drop skill. Oof. That's going to be rough, dude. Alright, so next we have Malicious Hero, which is the main skill, which gets us Malicious Fiend. We read that already. Then we have Remains of the Heroes. The attack of Evil Hero fusion monsters on your field is increased by 100 for each Elemental Hero or Evil Hero monster in your graveyard. You could do this just like activatable like Ties of Bind. And this could become a pretty big boost if you're able to stack up Evil Hero fusion monsters, and just one alone could gain a pretty powerful boost from this if you're consistently dumping cards to the grave. So again, I think it just lacks the impact that those other skills have that move cards from your deck and get cards from outside the deck to the graveyard. Like, that's crazy, dude. Alright. Reversed Evil, level 6. Among monsters in your graveyard or banished monsters, play one level 6 Evil Hero monster that left your field after it was fusion summoned. This skill can only be used once per duel. Wow. So you just play something that was removed from the field? That left your field after it was fusion summoned. Okay, so I'm assuming that means destroyed, banished, among you in your graveyard or banished monsters. So you get graveyard or banished. Can't be balanced because it says it cannot be from amongst your deck. So pretty interesting. Bring back a hero, an Evil Hero fusion. I mean, one level 6 Evil Hero. So oh yeah, so it's not going to be Evil Hero fusion. A level 6 Evil Hero specifically. Alright, so keep that in mind. Next, oh my gosh, this is a long one. Get ready, guys. Sinister Calling. Can be used once per turn by discarding one Evil Hero monster from your hand. Either add one Dark Fusion or Dark Calling from your deck to your hand, or place one Evil Hero Sinister Necrom in your graveyard from outside your deck. Pause. Evil Hero Sinister Necrom. Level 5 Dark. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Evil Hero monster from your hand or deck, except Evil Hero Sinister Necrom. Whoa. You can only use the effect of Sinister Necrom once per turn. That guy is pretty darn good. This reminds me of the Gimmick Puppet skill, Relinquished Puppet, that, you know, you sacrifice, you know, some other Gimmick Puppet skills, but you play the one that gets you this really powerful monster on the field to start off your plays. And this guy is pretty good. It puts this where? Or place one Evil Hero Sinister Necrom in your graveyard from outside your deck. So it will already be in the graveyard. And you can banish it and get any Evil Hero from your hand or deck. So you can straight up get Malicious Edge to summon your Malicious Fiend, just by sending this guy into the graveyard and activating your skill. Whoa. It says once per turn. That is pretty nuts. So let's see what else. This skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. This skill will only activate if you begin the duel with a dark that follows the conditions below. So really quickly, I'm going to scan it and make sure it's the same. Evil Heroes, Dark Fusion, Dark Calling, and 10 total of those. No monsters other than Evil Hero or Elemental Hero monsters are included in the deck. No monsters other than Fusion monsters are included in the extra deck. Whoa! Whoa. Well, you're able to play Elemental Hero Fusion monsters now. Still, well, in the deck, right? it seems you're able to play elemental heroes and evil heroes. I do not believe the extra deck is limited by it saying deck, so I believe you would be able to have masked heroes in the extra deck if you play this skill. This skill is pretty stacked. What the heck? You get this busted monster in the grave. It gets you any evil hero from your deck, and you can play the skill, and you can use elemental hero fusions, evil hero fusions, and mass heroes. You can play this with mass change if you want. This is the most versatile skill, I believe. So how do we get this? Level 20! Whoa, this is the best skill, and it's level 20 reward. Grind this character, dude. What the heck? So I definitely believe this is the best skill that we have read so far, and it is just by discarding one evil hero monster from your hand. And you can add any of your components of fusion or this guy to special summon an evil hero. This skill is auto play on crack. For real, this skill is busted. Sinister Calling. Insane. Alright, next we have Supreme King's Followers. At the beginning of the duel, add one Skull Knight to your extra deck. In addition, the following effect can be used. Skull Knight, what the heck? Can be used each time your life points decrease by 1,000. In the draw phase, instead of your normal draw one of the following cards at random. Damascus REM, Skill, Dark Magician, Skill White Magician. Oh my gosh, dude. So this is ridiculous. You just add him to the extra deck? And then you just draw these guys when you decrease by 1,000 instead? Dude, that is super random, dude. You can't even ritual summon Demise from drawing this. Like, what the heck? This card is... So basically, if you guys don't know, this is an anime reference skill. Supreme King's Followers from the anime. These are the monsters in the anime that serve him. And they, like, do his bidding, and they, like, mess with the humans who are the duelists and stuff. So, I don't know, dude. This is just a weird, super weird skill. It's a drop skill. Don't worry about that. Next, Supreme King's Castle Revelation. Can be used by revealing one polymerization spell card or fusion spell card in your hand when you have no field spell on your field. Play Supreme King's Castle from outside of your deck. This skill can only be used once per duel. Supreme King's Castle. So you play it. You can fusion summon fusion monsters that must be fusion summoned with Dark Fusion with effects other than Dark Fusion. Pause. So that means you're going to be able to use polymerization and any other generic fusion to summon stuff with... I mean, that wouldn't normally summon a normal fusion monster with with evil hero Dark Fusion guys. Once per turn during damage calculation, if your Fiend type monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send one evil hero monster from your deck to the extra deck to the graveyard. Your monster gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 200. Alright, so I think one of the evil heroes are level 8, so you'll be getting 1600, right? And Malicious Edge is level 6, so you can gain 1200 from him. This is pretty cool, but it's like, I think that the other skill that we just read, Sinister Calling, grants you much more. It grants you the ability to search your fusion twice. This requires you to have polymerization in your hand already. You know, it doesn't really help you much. It requires something of you first without giving you anything. So, no thanks. And next is Ultimate Fusion. Jaden Nubel also has this skill, and they've just given the same one to Supreme King Jaden. Hopefully they buff this skill in a future update. Can be used if your life points are at 1500 or below. Instead of conducting your normal draw, add super polymerization to your hand from outside of your deck. This skill can only be used once per duel. Yeah, and unfortunately, just because of how like crazy the consistency skills are for Supreme King Jaden, this skill unfortunately still is not too viable. Although I would love to see super polymerization. So you play. If you guys don't know, it's a quick play fusion spell. Discard one card. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either side of the field as fusion materials. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation, so it goes through no matter what. You suck up your opponent's monster. So absolutely nuts, but yeah. So that is Supreme King Jaden. My thoughts. Sinister Calling is actually nuts. There's a reason why they are only allowing this card to be obtainable at 1 via this skill. It's because its effect is way too busted for us to have free access to it. And this skill pretty much gives it to you for absolutely free because you can choose to add, you can choose to summon it or get your fusion component or an evil hero, no, a fusion component or this guy to the field. I mean, to the graveyard in order to get an evil hero that you want. It is super crazy, just as good as Automata Play. So this is the skill I am looking forward to seeing evil heroes use in tournaments. And I think this is the highlight of him. So I'm interested to see what people build. This one allows you to have fusion monsters in the extra deck. So it's the most versatile skill that has the most available plays with heroes. So it will be very fun to see what people come up with. Let me know what you guys think about Supreme King Jaden and Evil Heroes as a whole now that we have the character and the structure deck out. Still holding out on that mini box to see if we get any more support in there, but until then, this is what we got, so let me know what you guys think. Peace out, guys.